Okay, so where I'm at is I've put the motor in and just set it in place and put the bolts through the motor mounts. I'm to the point where I'm going to try to put the transmission in today. Again, Nv4500 came out of I believe a 93 Suburban is what I told it was used, and see if I can try to do this myself. I don't have any help. I don't think it'll be too bad. I got this jack here. It'll be the hardest part, getting it up into place, but luckily I have access to this lift, and so we're going to walk under here and show you what I've done so far. I bolted the new flywheel clutch pressure plate on while the motor was on the engine stand. Again, we've set the motor in. I then came underneath the other day and I bolted my bell housing on and hooked up some stuff. This hydraulic slave cylinder, I didn't change that. That is from the old Nv4500. Everything interchanged. I didn't have to change a damn thing. I have run this Nv4500 before this engine swap. I put this transmission in while this truck still had the 350 in it, so I know everything is good and bolts up. I'm just kind of working through this engine swap now. So here we are again. Put on the flywheel. Everything I think is ready. The one problem that I will say I encountered, I'm still working through it. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I am going to go ahead and put the transmission in and address things later. This motor, I mentioned in a previous video, was out of an 84 motorhome, and undoubtedly the oil pan that GM or Chevy used on that motorhome, would have been a different oil pan than a 454 would have had installed in this truck from the factory. So I found out the hard way when I set the motor in, the back end wasn't dropping down. I thought, what the hell's going on? Well, it's actually hitting the differential. This oil pan does not clear the differential. So I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. I'm not too worried about it. If I have to, I was thinking about, I don't know, a couple different things. Either clearancing the webs on that diff a little bit, maybe tapping a little dent in the oil pan. But the thing is, it's a matter that I think needs to be clearanced almost like 3/4 of an inch. I mean, there's some, I don't know if you can see up in there. It gets pretty close, you know. So anyway, I was thinking of actually shimming this diff down. Worst case scenario, I'll pull the freaking motor back out, get another oil pan that is better, but trying to get around that at the moment. This is where I'm at. I'm gonna try to throw this tranny up in, and once I get the transmission in and then the tail shaft of the transmission jacked up to where it should be, this clearance right here is gonna change. So I want to see where the factory position of the tail shaft ends up at, and then kind of come back here and look where this ends up at. It's going to kind of dictate how much I got to clearance stuff. Okay, I'll come back here in a bit.